There were 5 rookie quarterbacks taken in the first round of the 2021 NFL draft. It's funny I say rookie quarterbacks. Obviously, they're rookie quarterbacks. They were just drafted. We're about a week out from the beginning of the 2021 NFL season, and 3 of these young guys are going to start week 1. 2 of them are not. 2 of them are going to start week 1 on the bench. And I want to go down the list, talk about each one of these quarterbacks, and share my thoughts before the year starts. It's almost like an impression or a mark in time where I'm going to talk about their development at this point, and this is a baseline for where we will go for the rest of the year because they're going to get better as the year goes on. It's hard to know who's going to be the best in 5 years from now. Like Justin Fields, I think Justin Fields and Trey Lance are the 2 that are not going to play immediately in this year. And they both have some polish to go on, but they're also maybe the most gifted athletes in this draft class. So maybe Trey Lance, maybe Justin Fields could be the best guy 5 years from now after a process of development. But right now, this is where we stand with these rookie quarterbacks. And I actually want to start with the Jets rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson. I absolutely love this guy. I am not saying Zach Wilson will have the best career of these rookie quarterbacks. That depends partially on the team around him and, of course, partially on the work he puts in as the years go on to make himself a better player. But right now, today, at this point in development, Zach Wilson, I believe, is the best rookie quarterback in the NFL. And I believe he's most prepared to play. Part of that, first of all, he's not going to have as much support around him as Mac Jones in New England, and that is going to hurt him. Like, he's on the Jets. He's not on a really good roster. But Zach Wilson is ready to play. When you watch him in the preseason, I thought he was ready to play when you saw him even at BYU. He gets the ball out very, very quick. He's good at recognizing blitzes. I love Zach Wilson. This is a key part of his game. He's very mobile. He can move around and extend plays, and that's going to really help him this year playing in New York behind the Jets offensive line. And then I love Zach Wilson's ability to throw the football. I think he has I don't know how. I'm trying to think of a better way to put this than saying he has the best arm in this draft class, but I think his ability to throw the ball from different arm angles, make throws on the run, like he makes it look easy much more than any other quarterback in this draft class. Like Trevor Lawrence has a great arm, Mac Jones has a great arm. Like all these quarterbacks throw the ball at an incredible level, but Zach Wilson does some stuff with the ball that is special. The eagle like that, I'm not sure everybody can make that throw on the run into that tiny window down the right sideline. And Zach Wilson can do some special stuff with his arm. I love his style. I think he might be my favorite quarterback to watch play in this draft class. And he will start week 1 for the New York Jets, and I believe he's going to make a lot of big plays in New York this year. Now, the Patriots will also be starting a rookie quarterback week 1. Their guy is Mac Jones. In fact, it'll be really fun. We have Patriots, Dolphins week 1. Tua versus Mac Jones, 2 former Alabama quarterbacks, 2 former, one is the Patriots coach, Bill Belichick. One is the former Patriots defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. That game's going to be amazing. But Mac Jones, back to him, could not be in a better situation for his career where he potentially could be the rookie quarterback who wins the most games this fall in 2021. I think he's definitely the rookie quarterback on the best team. They run the ball well. They play good defense. And Mac Jones is ready for this moment. I'm sure there will be some small learning moments as the year goes on, but Mac makes good decisions. He gets the ball out of his hands very quickly. His processing ability is where it needs to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He plays very clean football. I can't say this enough. I love that he gets the ball out of his hands very quickly. He's a decisive decision maker. He'll recognize blitz. He'll probably honestly be kind of boring to watch play quarterback because he's going to throw 5-yard pass after 5-yard pass. And eventually, I hope he'll stretch the field, but I think Mac Jones might be kind of like what we saw with Dak Prescott during Dak Prescott's rookie year, where he just shreds you with 5-yard hitch, stop route, underneath route, movement routes underneath, shallow crossers. I mean, it won't be the most exciting way to watch football, I don't think, but he's going to be incredibly effective doing that for the Patriots. They got 2 tight ends. They run the ball well, lots of play action. And he's a typical, I think, honestly, of any guy they've had in New England, he's probably the most similar to Tom Brady skill set-wise, where he's just going to, cut you to death with 1,000 tiny little cuts. And as long as Mac Jones does not have a ton of turnovers, the Patriots can win. Now, here's the thing. Mac Jones doesn't have to do a lot for the Patriots to be able to win football games. But if he plays really, really well and is doing much more than just stuff underneath and playing safe, if he's really launching the ball downfield, making big throws downfield, I think Mac Jones could put up big numbers and, in fact, maybe even win the Rookie of the Year. He's going to play all year. He's going to be on a really good team. I'm not confident saying that Zach Wilson is going to win the Rookie of the Year. I think Zach Wilson is a guy who's going to put up good numbers for the Jets. And I think, Mac Jones might have a more boring year but win more games. And it'll be really interesting to see that battle between the two of them for Rookie of the Year. Or does another position out of nowhere do that? I think this is a year where it's very possible a position other than quarterback does, in fact, win the Rookie of the Year. But again, Mac Jones is a guy, based on the talent around him and his ability to play, has potential to win that Rookie of the Year award. Now, Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence will also start week 1. He's a rookie as well. And I got to say, man, I am worried for this guy. Not about this guy. I'm not worried about him. He's good, makes good throws, looks very, very ready for the NFL. But I'm worried for him because his coach, Urban Meyer, has never coached in the NFL before. By the way, his offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevell, got ran out of Seattle. And Urban Meyer's been making a lot of rookie mistakes, is already being investigated by the NFLPA. It was very weird how the Jaguars made Trevor Lawrence split reps with Gardner Minshew the entire training camp and then just traded Gardner Minshew away, meaning that they basically wasted 50% of the reps they could have given to Trevor Lawrence instead on a player they weren't actually going to invest in long-term, Gardner Minshew. And so, now, let me be clear. The Jaguars have some decent young talent. They got some good receivers there. Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark, a couple other guys. I don't hate what's going on in Jacksonville talent-wise. The question is, can Urban Meyer develop their young talent? I don't know. So I believe Trevor Lawrence is going to have a very similar season to what Joe Burrow did last year in Cincinnati. He's an obviously very good young quarterback who is going to be held back, in my opinion, by his team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by the way, hopefully the bad team around him doesn't get him hurt. Like I just see that so many parallels between Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence going number 1 overall to a bad team and who I fear might get hurt as the year goes on based on the team and the bad lack of talent around him in some areas. Young players with potential are not necessarily the same as young players that are really, really good, and they're kind of on that fine line. And so Trevor's season really depends on, can the Jaguars staff develop the young talent around Trevor and give him enough help to win and hopefully stay healthy. Okay, let's talk about Trey Lance. He is the 49ers rookie quarterback. He will start the year on the bench behind Jimmy Garoppolo, their veteran quarterback. And that is very much the right move. Trey Lance is not ready yet, but I got to say, this dude is insanely talented. I am very confident once he is ready, he will be the next guy, very similar to Justin Herbert or Josh Allen, who's this big physical quarterback who, will start raw, making big runs and impressive throws, but as he gets more and more polished, we saw Josh Allen kind of reach that peak last year where Josh Allen was not only very physically gifted, but also very polished and fully developed. We're going to see that from Trey Lance as well, in my opinion, a long development process where by the end of it, you're like, hey, this dude is really, really special. And so he's going to be a star. I think Trey Lance could be, down the road, 5 years from now, could be looked back on as the best quarterback from the 2021 NFL draft class. He's paired with fantastic head coach Kyle Shanahan. They have a lot of talent in San Francisco. He's got a huge arm. He can run. Trey Lance, once he is ready, will be a star. And I'm really glad that he's got Jimmy Garoppolo there as a buffer so that the 49ers don't need to rush him on the field. Whenever Trey Lance is ready, it'll be his time. Hopefully not a moment before that. Now, Bears rookie quarterback Justin Fields, he's already a star, man. I look at the fan base in Chicago. They are already very much excited and very much ready for him to be their starting quarterback. But he will start the year as the backup quarterback to Andy Dalton. And in my mind, that's good for 2 reasons. Now, the first reason why I like hearing that is that Justin Fields, frankly, just isn't quite ready yet. You watch the film, and you can see flashes of like, wow, that's going to be amazing once it's ready. But you also see moments where he had a great moment. I forget who he was playing in the preseason, where he just did not see a blitz at all, didn't recognize it, got blindsided, fumbled. They got a penalty, luckily, but moments like that where you're like, he's just not quite where he needs to be development-wise. And then that kind of leads me to my number 2 reason, which makes me very glad that Justin Fields is not playing week 1. It's that week 1, the Bears play the Rams, and the Rams have arguably, it's them or Washington probably, arguably the best defense in the entire NFL. And I don't know that I want to play my rookie quarterback, Justin Fields, my prize stallion, this dude who we're like, we are so hopeful for his future. I'm like, let's not put him out to throw him out to the Wolves week 1 against an incredible defense, make him figure it out on the fly. That sounds like a recipe for a disaster. and probably a really uncomfortable start to his career. So I'm like, hey, let's wait till we're playing a team that maybe doesn't have the best defense in the entire NFL. Now, the question after that is, when will Justin Fields play? Like I said, I'm glad it's not week 1, but unlike Trey Lance in San Francisco, the Bears are not as good as the 49ers. They're not going to be winning as many games, I don't believe, as the 49ers this year. And their coach, Matt Nagy, is in danger of getting fired. And I just hope that Matt Nagy doesn't put Justin Fields out there, ironically, on the field. They call him Justin Soldier Fields. I love his last name. Hopefully they don't put him on the field too early as a desperate move by Matt Nagy to save his job. Hopefully when Justin Fields takes the field, it's because he's ready, not because Matt Nagy needs to do something to try to save his job. And I just have to add, though, I want to say this. I want to be very, very clear. I'm a huge fan of Justin Fields. I think that between him or Trey Lance, they are the most gifted physically, just these dudes can do stuff that no one else can do. And there's not a lot of guys with the skill set that Justin Fields has that I can think of that have failed in the NFL. He is so gifted. And I think Matt Nagy gets a lot of flack. We'll talk about what will happen if it doesn't work out. He'll get fired, unfortunately. And for the longest time, I blamed the Bears' failures on Mitchell Trubisky, their former quarterback. So we're going to find out this year. Was it Trubisky or was it Matt Nagy or maybe both? And I just want to say, though, there have been moments on film watching Mitchell Trubisky where he had people open. He had opportunities to get completions or even touchdowns downfield, and he didn't pull the trigger. And I am very hopeful that the relationship between Matt Nagy and Justin Fields is not only going to work out, but even if Matt Nagy gets fired and moves on, I still think the potential Justin Fields has is through the roof. And for example, if they fire Matt Nagy, maybe they hire Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator from Kansas City, bring him in, develop Justin Fields. Justin Fields' potential, and then also what he did in college makes me go, he's going to be successful. I don't know what the path is going to look like, but I am very, very confident in Justin Fields' ability to figure it out and become a very successful NFL quarterback. Dude can run like a running back. He can throw the ball very, very well. He's a blast to watch. And I'm very much find myself not only rooting for Justin Fields, but very much believing in Justin Fields' ability to develop into a franchise quarterback. And hopefully, the Bears just so desperately need a quarterback. It's been year after year after year of Rex Grossman and, Mitchell Trubisky, and then all these other names I can't even remember, just Kyle Orton. Do you remember him? Oh my gosh. It's been, have the Bears ever really had a franchise quarterback? I believe this is true. I think they've never had a quarterback who's thrown for over 4,000 yards in an NFL season. That is unbelievable. So I'm rooting for Justin Fields, not only for him, but also for Bears fans who've lived their entire life not really having a franchise quarterback.